Hello dear students of class 9th, welcome to geography class. I hope all of you are fit and healthy. Students, in this video, I shall be continuing with the 5th chapter from your geography book, that is Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. Students, in the previous video, I have covered the first part of the chapter, that means the part of natural vegetation that is already covered. Now from this video, I'll start with the next part of this chapter, that is about wildlife. I have explained you everything about vegetation, about the factors that influence vegetation of any place, then about the types of vegetation and everything that was related to that topic. So now we will be coming to the wildlife part. So students, as I told you that India is rich in its vegetation, that means as India is rich in its flora, similarly India is also very rich in its fauna. The wildlife is also very rich in India. As in the introductory video only I told that India is among the 12 mega biodiversity countries. Mega biodiversity means including vegetation as well as wildlife. So, like its flora, India is also rich in its fauna. Now, how? How is India rich in its fauna? How this can be said? See, this can be said with the help of certain factual details that are already mentioned here and I will be explaining to you. For example, let me tell you that there are 90,000 species of animals that are present in India and 2,000 species of birds, and both these two, they constitute or they contain 13% of the world's wildlife. Both of them, that means 90% of the animal species and 2,000 species of birds, they constitute about 13% of the total wildlife of the world. Alright. Now, coming to the aquatic life. See, India is also very rich in its aquatic life. Now, how? You know, there are 2,546 species of fish that are present in our country. And you know, this is nearly 12% of the world's aquatic life. And it includes the fish in fresh water as well as the fish in salty water. Like fresh water means lakes, ponds, rivers, and if I talk about the salty water, that means oceans, seas. Alright. So, we have a rich aquatic life too. Now, students, coming to the next part, you know, 5 to 8% of the world's amphibians means the animals that live on land as well as in water. For example, crocodiles, they can live on land as well as in water. So, it includes amphibians, reptiles, for example, snakes, frogs, etc. and mammals. So, there are 5 to 8% of these species also, that is amphibians, reptiles and mammals. So, thus we can say that we are very rich in our fauna. We have a very rich fauna in our country. So, I hope this point is clear to everybody. Now, students, I have already told you that there are two factors that influences the vegetation and wildlife of any country, of any place, that is relief and climate. So, I already explained you regarding vegetation when I was talking about these two factors. Now, we will be coming to wildlife, that how these two factors, that is relief and climate, influence the wildlife of any place. See, these two are very important, and on the basis of this only, we have a large number of species of wildlife found in our country. Because of this only, because of relief and climate. Relief means land and soil. In a particular type of land, in a particular type of soil, a particular type of species of wildlife is found, right. See, for example, if I talk about the desert area, the semi-arid zone, then different types of animals are found. For example, camels are found, rats are found. So such type of animals are found. If I talk about the Himalayas, like the polar region, different types of animals are found. The animals that can protect themselves from the cold winds. If I talk about the central part of India, different types of animals are found. If I talk about the northeastern part or the southern part, then different types of animals are found. Different wildlife is there in the country. So why this difference is there? Why uniformity is not there? Why only single type of animal is not found in the country? Because of these two factors, relief and climate. So these factors really influence the wildlife of any place. And on the basis of this only, we will be studying about the distribution of animals, distribution of wildlife in our country. Now students, as I explained you in detail regarding vegetation, but if we come to wildlife, then that detailing is not there. Only you have to study that which animals are found in which region, in which zones of the country. Only that point you need to keep in mind, that in Himalayas which animals are found, in the desert area what type of animals are found, in the northeastern areas which type of animals are found, in the swampy areas which type of animals are found. So you just need to remember this. So in the wildlife portion, we only have to study about the distribution of wildlife in our country. All right. So students, now let us study about the distribution of wildlife in our country. So as you can see the list, we have the list here, and from this very easily you will be able to understand that which animals are found where. Now let us start with the hot wet forests of Assam, Karnataka and Kerala. Students, in these areas, in the hot wet forests of Assam, Karnataka and Kerala, basically elephants are found. You will find different species of animals in these places. Okay. Now coming to the swampy and marshy lands of Assam and West Bengal. So you need to remember that in these areas you will find one-horned rhinoceros. Please remember that in Assam, in the swampy and marshy lands of Assam and West Bengal, one-horned rhinoceros is found. Also students, let me talk about, cut this also part. Okay, now coming to the desert area, that means the Thar desert. In India we have Thar desert. So here you will find wild ass and camel. Also rats are also found here, the small animals, rats, mice you will find here. Also students, let me tell you that Indian bison, Nilgai means blue bull. Then we have Chausingha. Chausingha means four-horned antelope. Chaw means four and sing means horn. So it is called as Chausingha, the antelope having four horns. Then we have gazelles. These are different species of deer that are found in India. Also you will find monkeys in good quantity. They are in good number present in our country. Also students, in India we have lions and tigers. If I talk about tigers, then we have Royal Bengal tiger, and this is basically found in the Sundarban Delta. Please remember that Royal Bengal tiger is found in the Sundarban Delta. Now coming to the lions, we have Asiatic lion, which is found basically in Gujarat. Now where in Gujarat? In the Gir National Park. Please remember that Asiatic lion is found in Gir National Park in Gujarat. Students, leopards are also found in our country. But let me tell you that we do not have cheetah in our country. Cheetahs have gone extinct in India. And if you see a cheetah in some national park or wildlife sanctuary, that means that cheetah is not indigenous. That means it is not from India. It has been brought from some other country. So do not get confused between cheetah and leopard. Now students, moving on to the fauna in Himalayas. That means in Himalayas what kind of animals are found. See, if I talk about the Himalayas, that means it is a cold region. So the animals that can adapt there can only be found. For example, the animals that are big, the animals that are furry, that can adapt to the environment according to the climate, according to the temperatures, because temperatures are very low there. So the animals that can adapt to that kind of climate are only found in the Himalayas. For example, yak. See, if I talk about the yak, then yak is used for multi-purpose. For example, one for transportation purpose, goods can be carried, and even it carry bag and baggages, and also human beings can go from one place to another sitting on yak. Then you know yak, female yak, this is a milching animal too. Milching animal means the animals that gives us milk, from where milk can be obtained. So multi-purpose. So first one is yak, then we have shaggy horned wild ox, which is found there. Then we have the Tibetan antelope. After that we have bharal. Now bharal is called as the blue sheep, and you know bharal is also called as the mountain goat because it can climb mountains. That is why it is called as the mountain goat. Then we have kiang. What is kiang? Kiang means Tibetan wild ass. You can see the pictures of these animals also, these pictures, so that it will be helpful for you to recognize and remember that what kind of animals are found where. Then along with this we have ibex. This animal is called ibex. This is also found. Then we have bear, snow leopard and rare red panda. So these are the animals that are found in certain pockets of the Himalayan ranges. Okay, so I hope this section will be remembered by you people. Now students, let us talk about the fauna that is found in the rivers, lakes and coastal areas. That means the aquatic animals that are there, that are found in our country. So if I talk about the aquatic animals, then we have turtles, we have crocodiles and gharials. So these are the animals that are basically found in the, no, please cut this line, I am saying again. Now students, let us come to the next part, that is the fauna that is found near the rivers, near lakes and coastal areas. So you will basically find turtles, crocodiles and gharials near the coastal areas. That coastal areas means the areas that have water beside them, that is called the coastal areas. Now students, moving on to the birds that are found in India. Let me tell you that we have a large variety or large species of birds that are found in our country. For example, we have peacock, we have pheasants, ducks, parakeets. As you can see, parakeets, this is a colorful bird. Then we have cranes, pigeons and several other birds that are found in our country. So students, I have covered the wildlife section. In wildlife, you only have to study about the distribution, that what kind of animals are found where in the country. I hope this part is clear to everybody. Now students, we will be moving to the next topic, and our next topic is importance of vegetation and wildlife. That means how vegetation and wildlife is important for us. If a wide variety of vegetation and wildlife will not be there, then what problems we will face, or what benefits we will not get, the benefits we are getting today, what we will not get in case of absence of wide variety of vegetation and wildlife, that is flora and fauna. Students, flora and fauna help us in many ways. How? See, several points are mentioned. I will be dealing with all the points one by one. So the first point is that we get crops from a biodiverse environment. If biodiversity or diversity will not be there in the environment, how we will get different types of crops. Some crops is grown in some part of the country, other crops are grown in the other part of the country. Example, if I talk about rice and wheat, then rice and wheat is actually grown in all parts of the country, but basically Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, in these parts you will basically find rice and wheat. Then let me come to the plantation crops, for example tea, coffee. These plantation crops are basically found in the southern part of the country. So the environment, the factors that are there in the environment, that is relief and climate, they are providing us a rich variety of crops. That is why we are able to have a wide variety of food in our country. If a biodiverse environment will not be there, if different types of crops will not be there, then we will not be able to eat different types of food. If I talk about the clothes that you wear, the cotton clothes, from where cotton comes? Cotton comes from the cotton plants, and cotton plants are grown in black soil. So we have different types of soil, we have different types of land. So because of this diverse environment, we are able to lead a very simple, happy and beautiful life, right? So this is the first point. Now the second point. The second point is, many medicinal plants are obtained from flora. Yes, I already told you while I was explaining about the medicinal plants. We have several medicinal plants. For example, we have neem, tulsi, aloe vera and several others. So these plants, they are very helpful. They are providing us medicines. They help us to cure several types of diseases. For example, if I talk about neem, then it is very good for the skin. If in case you have any skin problems, then you can use neem for bathing. You can also use neem soap. We have neem toothpaste also, right? Aloe vera is also very good for skin. Tulsi helps in cold and cough. Then we have several spices that are present in our country that hold medicinal value, that hold medicinal importance. So that is why it is very important to have a wide variety of flora and fauna, because everything is not grown or everything is not present in only one part of the country, in only one region of the country. So that is why it is important. Okay, now coming to the next point. Next point is regarding milching animals. See, the milching animals provides us milk. Why milk is needed? Because in milk several nutrients are there. Milk is a major source of calcium. We get calcium from milk, and milk is obtained from the milching animals. If milching animals will not be there, how we will be able to drink milk, right? So milk is very important, and the ultimate source is the milching animals. So that is why flora and fauna play a very important role. Let's move to the next point. The next point is regarding wildlife. See, the animals, they provide us draught power, transportation and meat. Now what is the meaning of this word draught power? Draught power means loading power. The animals, there are several animals that help us to load things, to transfer from one place to another. For example, horse, donkey, ox, yak. So these animals can be used to load things as well as load people, so that the people as well as the things can be carried from one place to another. Especially if I talk about the Jammu area, their horses are there. So it makes transportation system very easy. Alright. Then if I talk about meat, then for the non-vegetarians, this is a very important source of nutrients. The non-vegetarians, they are actually very much dependent on the meat of several animals for their nutrient intake, right? Then let us come to the next point, that is fish. See, fish also provides nutritious food. Fish is very good for hair, it is very good for eyes, for nails, it has high protein. So the wildlife is very important when it comes to animals, when it comes to fishes. So that is why we have a rich variety of wildlife and vegetation, and that is why this is very important for us, because it benefits us in several ways, right? Now, the last point regarding insects. Now, how insects are helpful? Insects are also very helpful. The small creatures. See, insects, they help in pollination of crops and fruit trees away from the parent tree especially. Now, you have already studied about pollination in your junior classes. Now, how pollination takes place? Suppose an insect is there. Suppose let us talk about butterfly. A butterfly, what a butterfly is dependent upon? The butterfly is dependent on flowers to suck the nectar, the sweet nectar that is present. So, when a butterfly sits on any flower to suck the sweet nectar, then the seeds, the grains, those grains stick on the body of the butterfly or any insect, and when the butterfly or any insect goes from that place to another place, then while shivering, while the butterfly or any insect is moving, flying, in that process the seeds that are stuck on the body is fallen down, and that helps in the growth of a new plant away from the parent plant. So, this way it helps to increase the vegetation. Different types of plants are grown, different types of trees are grown, the fruit trees, different crops are grown. So, that is why insects also play a very important role in increasing the biodiversity of our country or of any country. So, this is the importance of vegetation and wildlife. So, students, I have explained you everything regarding the importance of vegetation and wildlife, but let me tell you, despite of having a rich vegetation and wildlife, despite having so much importance, it has several threats. Now, what are the threats will be explained in the next video. Till then, thank you so much. Stay safe and stay connected. I'll meet you in the next video.